Welcome to the Founder's Code, where we decode the stories of legends to motivate and inspire you. Today, we're diving into the life of a man who broke every rule in the book. He's been called a rebel, a visionary, and one of the most ruthless competitors in Silicon Valley. He dropped out of college not once, but twice, and yet went on to build a global technology empire that powers much of the modern world. This is the story of Larry Ellison, the founder of Oracle. Picture this: a man who races multi-million-dollar yachts in the America's Cup, owns a Hawaiian island, and lives a life straight out of a blockbuster movie. But behind the larger-than-life persona is a story of grit, defiance, and an unshakable belief in his own vision. He defied every rule, dropped out twice, and built one of the biggest tech companies in the world. So, how did a kid who felt like an outsider become one of the wealthiest and most influential figures in technology? Let's rewind the clock. Larry's story doesn't start in a garage in Silicon Valley. It begins in the bustling, gritty streets of 1940s Chicago. Born to a young, single mother, he was adopted by his great-aunt and great-uncle. Growing up, Larry always carried a sense of being different, a feeling of not quite fitting in. This outsider perspective would later fuel his desire to prove himself and challenge the status quo. He was bright and curious, but the traditional path of education just wasn't for him. He enrolled at the University of Illinois, a promising start for any young man. But after his adoptive mother passed away, he lost focus and dropped out. He gave college another shot at the University of Chicago, but again, it didn't stick. He left after just one semester. To the outside world, he was a two-time college dropout with an uncertain future. But Larry wasn't wasting his time. He was teaching himself what he was truly passionate about: computer programming. He was devouring every piece of information he could find, laying the groundwork for what was to come. The turning point came not in a classroom, but from the pages of a research paper. While working odd tech jobs in California, Larry stumbled upon a groundbreaking concept published by an IBM researcher named Edgar F. Codd. The paper was titled "A Relational Model of Data for Large Shared Databanks." It sounds complex, but the idea was revolutionary. It proposed a new, simple way to organize and access huge amounts of information. While IBM, the tech giant of the era, saw the paper as a mere academic exercise and didn't pursue it commercially, Larry saw something else. He saw the future. This single idea sparked a fire in him. He realized that if he could build a commercial relational database, he could change the world of computing forever. In 1977, with just $2,000 of his own money, Larry Ellison, along with his partners Bob Miner and Ed Oates, founded a small consultancy called Software Development Laboratories. Working out of a tiny office, fueled by ambition and late-night coding sessions, they set out to build what IBM had ignored. They were the underdogs, a tiny startup taking on a concept that the biggest name in tech had shelved. Every startup needs a breakthrough, a first big client to validate its existence. For Larry's small company, that client was none other than the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA. The agency needed a way to manage its vast and growing streams of intelligence data. Larry's team promised they could build the relational database system to do it. The project's code name? Oracle. The name stuck. This contract was the lifeline they needed. It not only provided crucial funding, but also gave them the credibility to approach other clients. They had proven their radical idea worked, and they were just getting started. With the success of the CIA project, the company, now renamed Oracle, exploded. In the 1980s, it became the fastest-growing database company on the planet. The numbers were staggering. The growth was relentless. But this hypergrowth came at a cost. The company's sales culture was famously aggressive. They were known for booking revenue for software that hadn't even been shipped yet, a practice that pushed the company to the brink. This rapid, chaotic expansion led to a near-total collapse. In 1990, Oracle faced its first-ever quarterly loss and had to lay off hundreds of employees. The dream was turning into a nightmare. This is where Larry Ellison's leadership was truly forged. Faced with disaster, he didn't back down. He was known for his bold, demanding, and sometimes ruthless management style. He stepped in, restructured the company, and instilled a new sense of discipline. He admitted the mistakes, cleaned up the accounting practices, and rebuilt Oracle from the ground up, making it stronger and more resilient than ever before. He transformed a near disaster into a lesson in corporate survival. proving he wasn't just a visionary programmer, but a formidable business leader who could navigate a crisis and come out on top. As Oracle solidified its dominance in the database market, Larry Ellison's wealth and fame skyrocketed. And he didn't live like your typical, low-key Silicon Valley CEO. He embraced a lifestyle that was as bold and audacious as his business tactics. We're talking about a fleet of private jets, a collection of supercars, and sprawling mansions around the world. But his most famous passions were on the water. He became obsessed with competitive sailing, pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into his Oracle Team USA to win the prestigious America's Cup. He even bought 98% of the Hawaiian island of Lanai, transforming it into a wellness and sustainability paradise. He lived life on his own terms, a billionaire rebel who played as hard as he worked. So what is the legacy of Larry Ellison? It's a story of how an outsider, a two-time college dropout with a rebellious streak, saw an opportunity that the world's biggest tech company missed. He took a $2,000 bet and turned it into a global software empire that is the backbone of countless industries, from banking and retail to governments and healthcare. Oracle's databases manage the critical information that keeps our world running. Larry Ellison proved that you don't have to follow the traditional path to success. He showed that vision, combined with an unrelenting competitive drive, can rewrite history. His journey is a powerful reminder that sometimes the ones who break the rules are the ones who end up changing the game forever. Thank you for joining us on the Founder's Code. We hope Larry Ellison's incredible story has inspired you. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep chasing your vision.